welcome back folks, Brew.com here once again and me on Pills and a bit more of new formats, standard action. Last time I brought you Elves versus Elves and Aggro. This time Elves get to fight some other aggressive deck. It's Black White Warriors. It's also one of the decks which is on the radar among a lot of deck builders and a lot of grinders of the game. It does seem like it has to be a bit better than it was previously with Terras. Of course, a lot of cards are lost, but Khan's block actually supports the archetype quite well, and it's actually the foundation of this deck. Here it's more inclined towards black, so it's lighter on the white side. I mean, for warriors, they're on the right side of the screen. Basically, you either go more heavy in white with mono white on offense. I mean, was it actually on offense? The 3 mana one, the 1 and 2 whites, like double strike when it enters, I believe, and when it attacks, it gives your warrior double strike. So that one, or you either go with the 1 and 2 black, the other 3 drop, which can basically throw guys at the opponent's face. So you either get a bit of reach or you get a bit of more speed. And a friend of mine who's piloting that warrior deck on the right, he was unsure what would be more relevant. He didn't know exactly what I would be playtesting as my primary deck of choice for now in standard. So he went for a heavier black version, but in my opinion, the one that is much more heavier in white components, that one probably gonna be much better. On the other side, you want to utilize the new card, like Drano, the, what is it, Savior of Malakir. But Drano, it's double black, and, well, the heavier white version is probably better. I don't know. Can the deck support it mono-wise? Even if that was just a 2-color deck. You get Cave with Coilless, but black-white as a color combination has the same problems as just straight black-green, like with Elves. Perhaps you could somehow play both of them and work out the mana base in such a way. Maybe just do what Patrick Chapin tells us on SG. Just use up fetches and use up off-color dual lands so that your fetches actually can give you any color of mana that you need. For example, in black-green, instead of playing the life gain tap lands, I could be playing fetch lands and then Blasting Mark giving me red-green duel or whatever, battle lands, tango lands. So Archer in turn 2 is not as good as it is in turn 1. For example, he had a Shadow Spear on turn 1 and nothing on turn 2. Now he has the guy that basically says all his warriors have to be blocked by 2 or more guys, so kind of giving your creatures manas basically. I also didn't have another 1-drop, so it just was the Whirling Wilds. Just for the record, I did end up cutting one of the common tap lands and the wilds in favor of simply more basic, since I was missing their 4th Llanowar Wastes, which of course you want to play 4 of in the deck. Elvish Visionary is okay, but against another aggro deck which apparently is gonna have much better templates, not where you want to be. taking one from Shadow Spear for sure. Then I'm trying to double block his 2-2 guy, but he has a Valor stance for it to save it, so basically he's 2 for 1ing me here. Which is not great when I'm supposed to be figuring out something to stabilize. Well, Might of the Masses kind of like makes it just 2 for 2 essentially. I know it's actually, what is it? Yeah, just 1 for 1 because he allocates all the damage on the archer and then I save it and then like nothing happens. I did cut one of the Might of the Masses essentially because I needed more room for some grindier tools, like to fit in a playset of the Cutthroats, that's the life draining ally, and I did put like a couple of Dranas into the deck, and right now just to try out this week before the weekends open, trying out one Lily main deck, even though I think it belongs to the sideboard. Ultimate Price main deck is something which is really ridiculous to see, but maybe it's just a one-off, and that I can tolerate. So right now in standard it's more of a sideboard card, I think, or maximum like as a one-off. Too many Rhinos and Mantis Riders and Eltrazis, etc. Hangerbacks, so yeah. Price is really at its worst right now. So, Collect Company in response to kill my archer. The intention to cast Company here was to hit the Shaman so that I can drain for 1 more life. I've put an Elite and the Force Mage just to like pump my guy so that I can block some of his other stuff. But Elite makes a 1/1 token as well. But he scoops it up because I think that was again when he mulliganed to 5 on the play. So he basically just lost the card advantage war, so he couldn't have enough resources to battle this old stuff. So shuffling up for game number 2. So yeah, this is narrated basically after day 1 of the SG Open in Indy, but the match was recorded in the middle of the week. Just saying. So right now, the Blaggro Warriors probably would look different, because we have at least some kind of idea of what kind of decks people are trying out. And then for Elves, I was actually pleased that Chapman actually considered that as a potential deck, even though he wasn't pleased about it, but he considered that it is possible, like it can exist. Though I don't like his list in particular. I've put a second Elf Lord that went in, and I've cut 2 out of 4 messengers because you have less elves now in the deck. On the other hand, like your company is a bit better technically, so you don't have as many synergies. So the Force Mage, Yeva's Force Mage is now Drana basically. Then I've cut like 1 Might of the Masses. I've cut the Shriek, even though I do still like it in the deck, but it's like a card which is probably great at something like FNM game day, but too tricky to run it in such a deck for premium level events, for competitive Magic. So I cut those, so now I have like 4 Cutthroats in the deck, even though like the builds here is an older one, well, like previous iteration. of the deck. Warriors have to shuffle again. I mean, mulligan again. It's not great. Again on the play. Though I think we should have changed the roles. I mean, swapped the turns in terms of who goes first. That would have been more balanced. But we often get so lost in terms of like who started the game before, and we wanted to have just more simple games for you guys to compare and see how things could go. For those of you wondering why it's so like just aggro, well, I'm hoping that next week I get to play just Elves like against some Jeskai Temple controlish, something like that. Maybe not necessarily Super Temple, more mid-rangey. We'll see. And that Jeskai is like not that kind of a boring aggro deck. There is a bit more play to it, a bit more interaction and so on. I'm not saying aggro decks are boring, but Jeskai builds almost of any kind have way more variation in terms of options. So not just in terms of like options what to play, but what kind of effects to have. Aggro decks also have a lot of options what to do each turn. So Elite didn't have a friend, and then the Forest Mage just helping to get through. He has the 3-2 in play now that pumps the attacks of the Warriors, and then the 3-3, which is now 4-3 thanks to the other guy, that for 2 mana, like he can sacrifice another creature, and it deals damage to face according to its power. And that wouldn't be relevant at all here. Like, think if like he would have the double strike guy here, he would be able to attack with his guy. If I would block, like I would lose my guy. If I wouldn't, I would take 6. So, do like that creature way more than this kind of creature that's supposed to help to drain life. So here he's showcasing the difference. So you get to play another free drop, though it's like double white, and you get to play a bunch of decent warriors, which are like one drops for 1 white, but then the mana base needs reworking, and it's hard to say like what is better. We've seen some drags utilizing some dragons at the open during day 1 and probably during day 2. But so far, like the black 1-drops are probably better, and you don't want to run like way too many of them. I'll just play the Shadow Spirit Champions and the Death Touch guy. So company end of turn for me does yields 2 Shamans, which is like pretty sick, I would say. He doesn't have that much of board presence, and I just drained him for 8, so he's fell down to 7, and this third top deck Shaman puts him at 2, and then attacking with everybody. Okay, he might have a removal here, but a couple of his guys gonna die, and then next attack's probably gonna finish him off. So that's what he was calculating here. You know, he blocks like my whole team, well, 3 of my 4 attackers, kills another one. He's still not in a great shape, because he mulliganed again, I think down to 6 or down to 5 again. It wasn't the worst draw for him, but I just threw the nuts thanks to the company. Well, that's basically the whole idea of the deck. Get some small creatures and boards, and then top it with shamans and yeah, his removal of choice in addition to price and stance was the suspension field, which is so odd because even though it says 3 or more, but it says toughness. And it basically had no targets up there. He could have cast 2 of them next turn to try to stabilize, but no targets because the shamans incidentally are free too. So Silk Wrap actually removes them, but not a suspension field. Which I think is still probably a much better main deck card. Especially for decks like Warriors, which can actually fight through small turtles in general. Game 3 here. Champion turn 1. Yeah, decent start. I have Trapper turn 1. That's the Mana Dork slash Death Touch provider. So turn 2 price on my Trapper to deprive me of extra mana source. I just have a tap land and another Trapper. He has the potential here to raise pretty well. Definitely don't block the champion because that accomplishes essentially nothing. He gets to play his kind of fireball cannon creature. With the help of Trapper, I cast a messenger, which only nets me a visionary. Well, actually, not just visionary. We correct this mistake pretty quickly. I'm so used to casting collected companies, and I'm so used to that effect. So please don't do that kind of mistake. This messenger does get you the Elf Lord or other messengers. But I think it's ultimately the right decision to cut on messengers. Not only did I put into my deck after this match from the release weekends new Dranas and more cutthroats, but also put in second Elf Lord, and I think 8 4-drops is already a big number. So 2 large messengers and 4 collected companies in the deck. For the mana curve purposes, I don't want to have really awkward starting hands, so I don't want to mulligan all that often. And then came Soaring. Just screwing up all my mana, all the good stuff. So he blasted. I can block one of his guys, and that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I would really be surprised if I didn't block here. But I guess I pause here. Sorry. I paused here because I thought maybe if I take a bit more damage I can then kill Sorin on the backswing. Oh yeah, and that was the turn when I should have actually taken 3 more from the champion. So that's I would have 4 mana and I think cast an Elvish Lord and just have the right amount to kill his Sorin. So yeah, that was a big mistake here. Because then he would be left okay with champion and that thing. Like he would be able to attack 3 more, but I'd still have my champion like my lord is free for to maybe block. But no, that wasn't supposed to happen. Ultimate Price would take it out anyway, but him having Sorin on board is much more problematic stuff. Decides to make a vampire instead of pumping his team. Taking just for free here. And he landed the morph. And only reasonable explanation would be it's either a Death Touch guy, which I'm not sure whether it's a warrior at all. I think it is. But I feel like he's not the guy who actually would run that creature in this deck. So I really do think it's the Hidden Dragon Slayer, the one that kills the big creatures. He might be running Assassin, but Slayer is a warrior, while the Assassin is not. And this Blaggro Warriors deck would likely have troubles against rhinos than small creatures. Crack in the Wilds, which I believe is a mistake overall, like in terms of just having the so many tap lands in the deck. Well, Wild's gonna be helpful like for many 4-5 color decks to actually have decent mana. But I'm a tempo beatdown deck. I really don't wanna like have so many tap lands. Really hoping the second set from this new Zendikar block will give us enemy color battle lands or tango lands. Though there is a chance that we won't see those. And I would somehow understand if we wouldn't get them. But having just like few common tap lands and one-hour waste is way to fix your mana in black green is not really great. I don't want to run the new rare elf ally mana dork. This is not what this deck is looking for. I would rather even like play the green 1-drop, the Renowned guy, which is a balanced noble hierarch, I would say. On the other hand, it's not an elf. I really don't want to run the Guildleaf Gliders or whatever. The 2 mana 2, 1 mana dork. Even though it's an elf, but still, like, it's just so bad. Like, Cutthroats are much better as a 2-drop. So he plays his Sorin and attacking with the team. That's the Vampire, the cannon creature, and the Morph. And now I kind of misplayed here. Could have saved maybe that Might of the Masses. Now he gets to basically 2-for-0 me. Just flip his Dragon Slayer. And that's it. So I did smell it as a Dragon Slayer, and I like after a couple of turns did forget it quite a bit. this is weird. He actually decided to not use it here. That's so odd. That's so odd. So I'm playing some dudes here. Delights. It gives me a 1/1 token and this shaman, so basically I would drain him for 4, but he's at such a life total thanks to Sorin. So you see like how that mistake like played out, not killing the Sorin. He got a vampire out of it, he got extra boost for his creature, he got a huge amount to life as another bonus. And here he's in the top deck mode, so if I would have killed like that Sorin right there, I would have been in a much better spot. So yeah, really misplayed this game. Should have played more well, not carefully, but more cautiously, I would say. It's Blessing the Sorin again, gaining even more life here. He's only attacking with Vampire and a Champion. I think he didn't unzip his Dragon Slave because he only had like 2 mana up, and to unmorph it takes 3. I'm not sure, but it feels like he had 3 up that turn. I'm not gonna rewind for that. I'm down to 3. Which is not great. Not great. Almost forced to chump with everything I have. Here I'm just trying to get to think if I can potentially get Sorin off the board. Then it looks like he's gonna he can just let it die here actually, and I'm 3 and he would just like almost kill me next turn, or like threaten little. I don't think it really makes any sense to save Sorin here, but actually he does. So Sorin was at 3, so this way Sorin goes to 1. And the chief is gonna trade with the shaman, unless he has something crazy. Oh my god. Another punt. Should have just tagged Sorin for 2 and cast like a Collected Company or something. So that was the turn where I just punted the game away. I would gain a couple of, I would drain a couple of life from him thanks to Cutthroat. That's likely not gonna be enough. He's gonna just blast on the Sorin and that's it. So potato, going down to 4, casting Messenger, nothing like 3 elves or something. So pretty good turn in terms of reloading, but I'm at 4. And virtually at 1 if he just ups Sorin and smashes in with the Vampire. but this is little no matter what. Hurling, Horde Chief or whatever, just makes it little, even despite my blocks and my drains from the cutthroat. So, thank you guys